What's up, guys? So we're back for a little bit of tire talk like I promised earlier in the week. So it's kind of crazy around here. My little town of 2,000 people has grown and there's cars parked everywhere, and that's because we have a festival going on today called Potato Days. So I'm actually going to go to the car show as soon as I'm done shooting this video, but first we're going to talk about tires just a little bit. On a side note, the garage is now a paint booth. So the F100's in there, and in a future video we might go over how to set up this paint booth so you can actually spray, keep stuff out of your paint, and make sure that you're safe, because a big part of this setup that we did in here is based on ventilation and getting proper ventilation so that you don't, suffocate or die. Because all the paint cans say that based in California, people get cancer because everyone gets cancer there, so we want to make sure that we get all those fumes out. But just to show you, the F100 Crown Vic swap is now primed. At least the cab is primed, and this is awesome, guys. It's so cool to see this thing like in one color in the booth here. And you can see, I don't know if you can try to focus, those seams. Earlier this week we filled those with seam sealer. So first Steven went through with a torch and actually got all this out of here, and then we redid that, primed it, and like I said, it's just cool to see the cab actually like one color. Alright, on to tires. So if you're like me and you're poor, you realize that tires have gotten ungodly expensive in recent years. Like, it's insane. I remember when I was a kid and my dad put a set of BFG KOs, the all-terrain TAs, on that green Land Cruiser we reviewed, and it was like $600 I think for 4 tires. I put a set of KO2s on my old truck last year, the new version of the all-terrain TA, which is essentially the same tire, and it was, I think I paid like $1,000, and I'm an employee of that company, so I got a pretty good deal. So it's just insane. So I think we're going to talk something about misconceptions when purchasing tires. I think the first misconception is that you have to buy the top brand name tire to get a good tire, and that's just not true. Well, it can be true in some cases because there's a lot of cheap tires out there. There's ways around that. So we're going to look at this tire I got on my Camry here, which is my daily driver. This is a Douglas tire. To be specific, it's a Douglas. It's a Douglas all season. So this is a Douglas all season tire, and this tire is actually from Walmart. Before you cringe, I'm going to tell you right now that this is a way better tire than you could buy that's a low discount tire at your dealership. And if you don't believe me, one of the biggest tips of this whole video is going to be do some research first. If you do a little bit of research online, read some reviews, and kind of research these brands a little bit, you're going to find a lot of good information and a lot of almost hidden information that you wouldn't normally know. If you go to a dealer or something like that and pick out your tires, obviously they're going to recommend you expensive name brand tires because that's what they're going to carry. They want to carry quality. And if you opt out of those, they're going to recommend you something like Kelly's or Laughlin's, which, I'm sorry guys, they're just terrible tires. I install them. They're just junk. They're awful. Like, I cringe every time I got to put a set of Kelly's on. In fact, my joke is they're round and they're black, and that's about all they're good for. This tire right here is going to be specific to Walmart, and this tire is actually manufactured by Goodyear. So this tire is made in the USA, and it's manufactured by Goodyear for Walmart specifically. So this is the only place you can get Douglas tires is Walmart, or I'd imagine Sam's Club. And to put 4 tires on my car, I put them on myself obviously, but just to buy 4 tires was $163 for 4 tires. In some cases, that's half as much money as I've spent putting 1 tire on a customer car. So that's the first tip of this video, is just to do a little bit of research before you buy these tires and just kind of know what you're getting into. Cheapest isn't always the best option, but sometimes you can still get a decent tire for a good price. Is this by any means the best tire in the world? Probably not. But I've had these on for about 7,000 miles now, and they're wearing great, which brings me to my next point. The next thing we're going to talk about is tire wear. So if you look at this tire right here, this is an all-terrain type tire. It's actually a Wrangler. It's called a Goodyear Wrangler Radial, and there's a million different Wranglers. But this tire is it's one of their cheaper ones. Again, you can buy this at Walmart. These were on my Mazda pickup when I bought it. They're really good tires. One problem that people have with all-terrain tires is getting them to wear funny because they got these big lugs all over them. So generally, they're not going to wear as nicely as a highway tire. if I'm going to have a truck, it's going to have all terrains. I would not do mud terrains because I don't care how often you align them and rotate them and stay on top of all that crap. If you have a truck and it's going to see the mud just a couple times a year, I'd even say even if it's like once a month, you don't need a mud tire because all they're going to do is wear out and be noisy. These all-terrain tires are a great option. I've been through a lot of crap in all-terrain tires like this. The kind of wear that we are seeing, even though these are wearing pretty evenly on this tire, is a little bit of an indentation right in the center of our tread here. You're not probably going to be able to see it, but that dip in the tread is usually indicated not by an alignment issue, but by a tire that's not properly inflated. If your tire is overinflated, it's going to wear out the center section of your tire more. A lot of times this just comes from ignorance. People don't know what it's supposed to be at, so make sure you check your manufacturer's specifications and know what kind of tire you're running and what kind of air pressure you want to run. But yeah, that's not going to be caused by an alignment issue. Alignment issues are going to wear the edges of your tires more, whether that be cupping, where this edge is going to burn off and be pretty smooth, or feathering, scrubbing, which means it's going to be kind of jagged on the edges, inner or outer. And a trained mechanic is going to generally know what your issue is based just on looking at your tire wear a lot of the times, but it's best just to get this up on a rack and make sure you do your alignments. I think a lot of people think that when you get new tires, just based on my own experiences, when people get new tires, I think sometimes they think the alignment's just an upsell and they get kind of insulted and they don't do it. And it just makes me cringe, because if you're putting new tires on, please align your vehicle. I don't care if you did it last time, because last set of tires was what, 30, 40,000 miles ago? So you could have done a lot of things in that time. Stuff could have shifted, you could have hit something, you could have curved a wheel, and all that stuff is going to affect the way that your new tires wear. Tires being as expensive as they are, I'd really recommend getting alignment done and at least getting it checked annually. I'm kind of a stickler. I check my alignment probably once a year, but I buy my own tires. I don't like paying for new ones, and I don't like seeing them wear out. So make sure your alignment is set properly. The last thing is, try not to make sure you replace your tires prematurely. It's hard to see on this tire, but there's actually going to be a wear bar on your tread, and it's going to be towards the base where there isn't any tread left. So if you look in between and all these cracks, at the base of the cracks is where the tire would be bald, and it's going to be just a hair above that, generally around 3 millimeters. So if someone tells you your tires need to be replaced, if it's anywhere near that wear bar or at that wear bar, they're probably right. If you seem to have quite a bit of a gap between that wear bar and the top of your tread pattern up here, then you probably can get away with not replacing your tires. And if you're ever questioning it, you're at a shop and someone says your tires are shot or worn out or they're wearing funny, ask for an alignment readout. It's not the end of the world. So if you really want that, ask for that measurement. So the last misconception I want to clear up with tires is that in this part of the country, in this climate, there's a lot of all-wheel drive vehicles running around. And just in general nowadays, there's a lot of all-wheel drive vehicles. And we'll have people come in and they'll blow a tire, and this only pertains to if it's the same drive axle, so either the front two or the back two respectively. And I'll have someone that comes in with tires that are still good, but maybe they're at 50%. So there's still a lot of tread life there, but they're halfway through their life. And let's say they blow out a tire, and I tell them, well, you need 2 tires. And they get insulted and they get defensive and no, I just want the one. Well, really, your mechanic, if this is what you're told, and I've actually had people call me to ask me about this, hey Jared, am I getting screwed? No, you're not. That's true. So if you have one tire that's at 50%, let's say it's this high off the ground, and this is by no means an actual measurement, I'm just visually trying to give you an image, and then you have a brand new tire and it sits up higher because there's more tread on it. That's going to mess with your differential and your drive system in your vehicle because you have 2 different rotational speeds based on the tires being different sizes. If your tire's at 90-ish% or if it's almost new, you can probably get away with putting just that one tire that blew out on there. But unfortunately, these modern vehicles are so precise and so many of them are all-wheel drive that if you have 2 tires in the front and they're sitting at different heights, that's going to cause you a lot of issues down the road. That's really going to screw stuff up. So trust your mechanic when they tell you that you need the 2 tires. If you're really questioning it, ask them to take a tread measurement. Figure out what the tread is on your tire and what that tire comes with new, and then you can have that discussion. But generally, your mechanic knows what he's talking about. You like to think so anyway. And if you have an all-wheel drive vehicle and you blow out a tire, unfortunately, a lot of the times that means that you have to buy 2 new tires to save the drivetrain of your vehicle. So guys, hope you liked this little tire video. Just wanted to give you some information because I know tires are so expensive, so I want you to know what you're dealing with. My biggest tip again is just to do some research. Like I said, these Douglas tires, they're a good tire. I've only got about 7,000 miles on them right now, but they've been great so far. And like I said, it's a Goodyear tire that's made specifically for Walmart and rebadged. So make sure you're looking into some of this stuff, do a little bit of research, and just know what you're getting into when you're dealing with your tires. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments down below. Otherwise, see you next time.